Welcome to Angel Messages Sunday. Today's angel message includes three main themes about our light body, like awakening your light body and Christ consciousness, strengthening your connection with the angelic realm and your higher self, and exploring the depths of your soul through inner awareness. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Julie Clough. I'm a spiritual medium, which means I communicate with the other side through mediumship and intuitive work and channeling. And I had a spiritually transformative experience and miraculous healing after the sudden passing of my two youngest children in a car accident on Mother's Day in 2007. And today I channel an angelic collective who call themselves the Council of Wisdom. Today is Angel Messages Sunday, in which I share a longer channeled message here. And then on Wednesdays, I post an episode of the Light the Day podcast where I interview other spiritual experiencers and we get all the tea on that. And throughout the week, I post other shorts with uplifting and healing messages. And I'm going to play this week's channeled message first. And then afterwards, I'll go through the message paragraph by paragraph and share any additional insights that I received while channeling the message. But before I do that, I want to share a little secret with you guys. So tomorrow I am flying to Austin to go to the Next Level Soul studio and record an episode of the podcast Next Level Soul with Alex Ferrari. I'm super excited about that. It's a huge opportunity, and we have family in Texas and a lot of friends in Texas. So we're taking the opportunity, and when I say we, my husband and I, taking the opportunity to travel down there so that I can be in studio for that interview, and we can, I can do the interview live. So I'm super excited about that. Maybe you found me through another podcast, but it's been really fun to be doing more podcasts and to be putting out more content. I've been putting out these messages, I think, a couple of months now. So it's all pretty new, and I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited that you're here. And if you listen to this message, put a little heart in the comments, send me a little love as I go down to do that interview, which is going to be super fun. Now for the channeled message. It is well that we are here. It is well that we are communing together, that we are sharing messages of love and hope upon the earth through this channel. We are grateful for this opportunity to speak to you and to speak to the energies of the earth at this time, for there are many energies of the earth and there are many understandings that are not perceptible to the human mind, and we acknowledge this gap in cognition. We acknowledge this interruption in your understanding, and we are here to begin to create more understanding upon the earth, to create more unity between the angelic realm and the realm of the earth plane. For you are upon the earth plane. We are in the angelic realm, and we wish to communicate to you and with you at this time to bring this connection together at this time. We wish to impress upon your minds the importance of the light body, which you are at the core of who you are, and that your Christ consciousness lives within you. It is the light within. It is, as you might say, the pilot light of your soul, for it is always and will always be connected to your eternal soul. And that light within is shining and asking for your attention. And many of you, especially those who are listening at this time, are aware of that light body within you, that you are the light body that resides upon the earth in this avatar that you call your being, that you call by many different names, that you are an ego, that you are a personality upon this earth. And we wish to communicate and connect with you at this time and to bring your awareness to the light body that you are within and to bring awareness to the connection that you do have with your higher self and with the angelic realm. And we wish at this time to bring this to your awareness that you might connect with that inner soul, that inner self that is at the heart of who you are. We bring this to your attention. We bring this to your attention once again for you to investigate and experiment upon this light body that is who you are at the core of your being. For you are not the personality, you are not the personality, you are not the personality that you see before you when you look in the mirror. That is a shadow of the higher being. That is a incarnation of the higher being. You are much more than what you see when you look in the mirror, when you communicate and interact upon the earth plane, upon this existence in which you currently exist. There is so much more to your being, to your existence than what you have explored at this time. You are much like the depths of the ocean upon your earth. You have heard that the depths of the ocean have not been explored to the extent that the earth surface has been, and your spirit is much like the depths of the ocean that has not been explored to the extent that your earth has been. And we invite you to explore the depths of your ocean, to explore the depths of your soul, to explore the depths of your spirit, to become connected with, to become acquainted with the depths of your spirit. And to do this with much cheer, to do this with much excitement, to do this with goodwill, that you explore with excitement and goodwill. And we invite you to continue your exploration, to continue to ask your questions, and to continue to connect within and receive the answers from your heart space rather than your head space, rather than the brain that is within you. This is our invitation. This is our invitation in our charge to connect and to explore the depths of your spirit. And this is our message this day. And we thank you. We thank you. We send so much love and joy and hope and peace. Goodbye. Okay. Did you catch the themes in this message? Awakening to your light body and Christ consciousness. We are so much more than our earthly personality. We are an eternal spiritual being of light. And they really brought that to the forefront in this message and this idea of strengthening that connection. And I feel like this has been a theme for a few messages about strengthening our connection with the angelic realm, strengthening our connection with our higher self. They went a little deeper this time and talked about exploring the depths of our soul through inner awareness. Your soul is vast, unexplored wisdom, and spiritual growth comes from that inner exploration and that heart-based awareness. And hopefully you're here because you feel like these messages are helpful to you. I appreciate so many people have reached out and said that they are, so I really appreciate that. So let's go through this message paragraph by paragraph and talk about what came through in this message. Also, I wanted to share with you, I don't know if you noticed this, but I felt like the energy was really high in this one, and I felt like the message came through really quickly. It's interesting when I first started channeling, the messages were coming through really quickly, and I almost felt like they were doing that because they didn't want my consciousness to interfere. So I thought, if we just rush in there and we get all that out there, then she doesn't have as much opportunity to interfere. And I kind of had a I had a little bit of a discussion with them about this, like, in my head. It wasn't real elaborate and it wasn't real formal, but I was just like, what about that energy that used to come through that was so fast and so quick? I really appreciated that because I think it did really help me stay out of my consciousness and stay with the communication. And it's always fun for me to go back and reread the message because even though my consciousness is aware of the message, it's not always aware of the depth of the message. It's because I am in a little bit of an altered state when I'm receiving these messages. It's the same when I do my appointments. I'm in a little bit of an altered state. I'm just thinking about an appointment I did with somebody last night, and as I think about it, like there's little highlights that kind of stand out that I can remember. And really, it's only kind of the beginning of that appointment that I remember. But a lot of it just comes and goes. Like I'm kind of in an altered state. Like I said, it's coming through. I'm not really absorbing it. So it's fun for me to go through these messages too. So thank you for doing this with me. All right. So let's look at the first paragraph. It is well. It is well that we are here. It is well that we are communing together, that we are sharing messages of love and hope upon the earth through this channel. We are grateful for this opportunity to speak to you and speak to the energies of the earth at this time. This is pretty straightforward. And when they talk about sharing messages through this channel, they're talking about me as the channel. And we are grateful for this opportunity like this to speak to the energies of the earth at this time. They're really speaking to the energy that's upon the earth right now that's assisting us in birthing the new earth. Like we are in the birthing process. We are in the gestation process. Okay, next paragraph. For there are many energies of the earth and there are many understandings that are not perceptible to the human mind. And we acknowledge this gap in cognition. We acknowledge this interruption in your understanding, and we are here to begin to create more understanding upon the earth, to create more unity between the angelic realm and the realm of the earthly plane. This is really interesting to me because I feel like they're talking about this gap in our understanding and they're wanting us to acknowledge that there's a gap in our understanding that when I when I tune into the gap in our understanding, it is so vast. It just feels like it's going to swallow me alive. So that's what they're really referring to. And they go on to talk about this earth plane and angelic plane. So let's go to the next paragraph. For you are upon the earth plane, and we are in the angelic realm, and we wish to communicate to you and with you at this time to bring this connection together at this time. We wish to impress upon your minds the importance of the light body which you are at the core of who you are, and that your Christ consciousness lives within you. So they're bringing this awareness of like, okay, you're there. Like we are in physical form. The angelic realm is not in physical form. We're having a very different experience than what they're having. They have a very different level of understanding than what we have. And so, like, so much gratitude to them for these messages. It's really mind boggling. And maybe you've heard me talk about this before, but it's probably been a year ago now, probably more than a year ago now, when I was having, kind of my morning messaging with the angelic realm, with the beings that I communicate with. And I was asking them, I said, can you give me a little bit of a clue of what's next? Like, what am I going to be doing next? And the message I received was, if we had told you 6 months ago what you would be doing now, would you have believed us? And I thought, no, I wouldn't have. Like, even my energy was just not there yet. Like, I was even seeking assistance from other intuitives, and they would often say, well, it's not that you're going to be calling yourself a medium, but it's like you're going to have that mediumistic abilities. And here I am calling myself a medium. So who knows, like that energy wasn't within me yet. You see what I'm saying? And so things are moving so quickly upon the earth that you may be having this experience too, where what you think is coming down the line, it doesn't end up coming because, or it comes in a different form, but it's all good. Like, as we keep our vibration high, as we continue to communicate, and this is not about keeping our vibration high all the time. When I'm communicating with them, I get myself into a space where I could communicate with them. They lower their vibration. I raise mine. I'm coming with the intention of communicating. So, yeah, so they're just impressing upon our mind, just like they said, the importance of the light body which you are. Like remembering that at our core, that's who we are. Christ consciousness lives within you. Okay, so let's go on to the next paragraph. It is the light within. It is as you might say, the pilot light of your soul, for it is always and will always be connected to your eternal soul. And that light within is shining and asking for your attention. And many of you, especially those who are listening at this time, are aware of that light body within you. Okay, again, bringing that attention to that light body. I don't know, I'm not sure when it was that I became aware of that heart center, of that light body within, of that connection. I know 2 or 3 years ago, I taught a course that was, and I'm thinking about revitalizing that course and bringing it again, to everyone. But I taught a course that was advanced intuitive coaching. And in that course, I was sharing about how, like, here we are in our humanness, and then at our heart center, we're connected to our higher self, which is connected to all that is. Like, it's connected to that heavenly realm, to the angelic realm, to our spirit guides, to God, to the heavens, all of that, right? And each soul has a different connection there, but as we raise our vibration here, we become more aware of that core of who we are, of that being of who we are. Okay, let's go on to the next paragraph. That you are the light body that resides. Okay, I'm going to start that over again. That you are the light body that resides upon the earth in this avatar that you call your being, that you call by many different names, that you are an ego, that you are a personality upon this earth. And we wish to communicate and connect with you at this time and to bring your awareness to the light body that you are within and to bring awareness to the connection that you do have with your higher self and with the angelic realm. All right, so interesting. The avatar. The avatar is this being. The avatar, the ego, the personality, this being that I call Julie, right? And you call Linda or Sue or Mark or Mike, right? Like that's the avatar. That's we are living connected to the ego, to the personality of the earth, and that's not a bad thing. Like we came here specifically to play out this role that we're in right now, to play out the role that you're in right this minute. So it's not a bad thing. So I don't want you to think of it as a bad thing. It's just they're making you aware that there's so much more. And in this moment, I can't think of a good parallel to this, but it's really fascinating. So they go on to say they're going to talk more about this. And we wish at this time to bring this to your awareness that you might connect with that inner soul that is at the heart of who you are. We bring this to your attention. We bring this to your attention once again for you to investigate and experiment upon this light body that is who you are at the core of your being. I would love for you to share in the comments how you connect to the core of your being. How do you make that connection? Are you already aware of this heart-centered core of the being that's connected with the higher self? Um, and this idea, and I don't know if we've talked about it before here, but this idea that our higher self, or like our oversoul, some people call it an oversoul, but like that there's just a portion of our light body that is here in this avatar and this personality, and that there is so much more to us that is still within the heavenly realm. It gets a little trippy, doesn't it? And I don't want to get too woo-woo on this, but I would love to hear what your connection to all this is and how you connect to your inner light, to your core, to your higher self, and even to, your guides or your angelic helpers. All right, on to the next paragraph. For you are not the personality. You are not the personality. You are not the personality that you see before you when you look in the mirror. That is a shadow of the higher being. That is an incarnation of the higher being. You are much more than what you see when you look in the mirror. When you communicate and interact upon the earth plane, upon this existence in which you currently exist. Okay. They said three times, you are not the personality. I like to kind of pay attention, and I don't know if I've been really emphasizing it here, but I kind of like to pay attention to these phrases that they repeat more than once. That is a that is a technique or a function of the way that they're delivering messages now that wasn't a part of my experience up until like a month or so ago. In fact, it's really interesting because I was having these conversations like, am I still connected? Is this still the counsel of wisdom? Because I am experiencing it differently. But what I'm coming to understand is, yes, I'm still connected to the counsel of wisdom, and that's still who's communicating with me, this angelic collective, but I'm receiving it at a different frequency, at a different level, which is why it's coming through the way that it's coming through for me now. So it's really interesting, but just recognizing that we're not the personality that's looking at us in the mirror. I talked about going to next level soul, and the ego, the personality got all like wound up in knots about like, what am I going to wear? Like, it's so silly, isn't it? Here we are, these bodies having this earthly experience, and we're worried about like what we look like and those things are important to our existence here. I'm not discounting that entirely. That is important. It's important for us to take care of ourselves. It's important for us to be groomed and to present our best face, if you will. But we are not the personality. And it was interesting when they said this is a shadow of the higher being, because sometimes when we think of shadow, we think of we think of darkness. And I don't feel like they're trying to say that this is a darkness of the higher being, but more that it is a portion of the higher being. We're definitely at lower frequency than our higher being. So I just wanted to point that out as well. Um, there is so much here. I could probably do a full 20, 30-minute episode on just one paragraph, but I'm trying to be brief, and so I'm just going through this briefly, but let's move on to the next paragraph. There is so much more to your being, to your existence, than what you have explored at this time. You are much like the depths of the ocean upon your earth. You have heard that the depths of the ocean have not been explored to the extent that the earth's surface has been, and your spirit is much like the depths of the ocean that has not been explored to the extent that your earth has been. Okay. Have you heard these statistics before? Like the statistics are wild, but we have like explored the depths of the ocean like by a fraction. Like I think it's like 1% of 1% or some crazy number like that. I don't know. I didn't look it up. You can look it up, but the amount of the earth that we have explored has been far greater by, you know, 10,000 or more percent. I don't even know. I'm just throwing numbers out there. But if we think about it, like our existence here has been so physical. So it makes sense that they're saying you have explored your earth or your physical being or your existence and the way that you do life. It's very like it feels very similar to me. And I'd never thought of it this way until they brought this to my attention. But yeah, like the depths of the ocean have hardly been explored. And while I'm a spiritual seeker, I know more about like the room that I'm in and the clothes that I'm wearing and the physical experience than I do the spiritual experience. That even though I feel like I've done a lot of exploring in the spiritual experience, we can really say that we've spent most of our life in our physical form. So it's really interesting to think of it that way. So here's their invitation, the next paragraph here. And we invite you to explore the depths of your ocean, meaning your spirit, to explore the depths of your soul, to explore the depths of your spirit, to become connected with, to become acquainted with the depths of your spirit, and to do this with much cheer, to do this with much excitement, to do this with goodwill. Okay, amazing message. And I feel like that's the reason we're here, right? That's what you're doing. That's what I'm doing. We're like here exploring. But don't you just love the end of this where they said to do this exploration with cheer and excitement and goodwill? Like, we tend to take things so seriously. I think spiritual topics were so serious for me for so long because of my religious background. Because in my religious background, our meetings were very serious. There was no clapping. Occasionally somebody would stand at the pulpit and tell a joke and everyone would laugh. But there was we even made promises about laughter. I mean, believe it or not, but I won't go into that. But it was all very serious. It was all very serious minded. Like, we got to take this seriously and we got to get it right. And we got to do all the things and we've got to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. But really, the invitation is for us to hold this a little lighter and to do it with cheer and to do it with excitement, just like we would explore our world. So, yeah, really interesting. They go on to talk more about that in this next paragraph. That you explore with excitement and goodwill. And we invite you to continue your exploration, to continue to ask your questions, and to continue to connect within and receive the answers from your heart space rather than your head space, rather than the brain that is within you. Okay, again, inviting us out of the head into our heart. Like, how can we be more heart centered? When I see my emotions going out of, out of control or spiraling in an unuseful, unhelpful place, it's because my brain got in there, my ego got in there, my personality got in there and had expectations and um yeah, just expectations or rules or things that I thought should happen, right? That's what expectations are. So it's all about the excitement and the goodwill and the exploration and to come from that heart space more and more and more often. All right, last paragraph. This is our invitation. This is our invitation and our charge to connect and to explore the depths of your spirit. And this is our message this day. And we thank you. We thank you. We send so much love and joy and hope and peace. Goodbye. Beautiful ending. Once again, they're sending us so much love and joy and hope and peace and just inviting us to do this exploration. So I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. I hope you have a beautiful week. If you like, share, subscribe, all the things, you guys, it really helps us to boost these messages and to help other people come across them. And I love your comments. It's really fun for me to see what you're up to. And I really, really appreciate those of you that get involved in the conversation. So thank you so much and have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye.